How North Korea makes money while sanctioned. Slavery. That's the answer. We can end the video.
Subscribe to Tommy NFG.
Like, straight up, bro, it's kind of funny because recently I saw like some vlogger and he was there and like you saw the countryside and dude, their houses, like, bro, like when I say the hood in America, bro, probably like high class for them. It was genuinely the most insane like countryside I've seen. And you know, the countryside is supposed to be a little bit more dingy or whatever everywhere, but like it was bad, bro. It looked like they was living in the 1900s for real. And like even the equipment they was using, bro, it was like some super old machine I'd never seen in my life. I had no clue what bro was using. He was like, I think cutting the grass and getting some, but it was weird, bro. North Korea also has like a good alliance with like China and Russia too, so like they're good anyways. And look, even though America on top, that don't mean shit when you got the other two global superpowers backing you. Even though you got like a bunch of countries sanctioning them, blocking them for getting goods, whatever this and that, dude. That's literally the second and third biggest powerhouses in their grasp pretty much that are like friendly with each other. I'm pretty sure like North Korea, they just opened like tourism. Yeah, if your ass is going into North Korea for tourism, don't be surprised when you get executed, all right? Like, I seriously don't understand why anybody would ever do that. But like, that's actually a thing people do because apparently Kim Jong-un just opened like a new fucking resort and people are trying to visit it. From the videos I've seen, the main people that are visiting it are like people in Russia. Like that is literally, there was like some Russian vlogger girl that went there or something and recorded it. All I'm gonna say is, look, listen, if there's any Americans thinking, oh man, I want to visit that resort, this and that, bro. What was that one dude? There was like some dude, I think like 2016 or whatever, he had went there in North Korea. He like ripped down a poster or some shit over there and bro, they screwed his ass. Bro, they put him in prison, bro. It was like a viral thing. They made him stand in front of the news station. He was like crying, saying this is the worst mistake of my life. Then they ended up releasing him back to the US, but he was like completely brain dead. They sat there and were like, what? We didn't do anything to him. Even if you're in Russia or China, like you have to hear about how crazy it is over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, even though their governments are pretty, you know, controlled and censored and whatnot, dude, other countries, they don't give a f. They're like, talk whatever shit you want to. If you're in China, I'm pretty sure you can talk about obviously like the US. You can talk about Russia. You can talk about like North Korea, South Korea, all that. They probably hear about all the bad things, but I don't know. I guess they don't care as much. Anyways, let's go and see this.
North Korea spends a lot of money on its military. They have the world's 5th largest army. They're one of the only nuclear...
That is pretty crazy considering North Korea only has like 32 million people, bro. There's like how many countries? There's probably like 100 other countries that have like a bigger population than them and they still have the 5th strongest military. Don't f with the US though. Y'all will literally get stomped out in a second. Just know that. Hey Kim, listen, what you gonna do, bitch ass nigga? You gonna take my ass and capture me and take me over there? Fuck you. Free the people over there. Free the people in North Korea of the regime and give them freedom. And this whole clip, by the way, for any officials that may be watching it out there, you know what I'm saying, and spies, was AI. This is not a real clip. This is not the real Tommy.
Armed nations, and let's just say the military is an important part of this communist monarchy's public image. The Workers' Party of Korea spends about...
Bro, what do they say? There's like a saying. Anybody that has to like flex, really flex, oh, I got this and that, bro. Hey guys, Tommy NFG here. Did you know only half of you guys are subscribed and even less of you guys have noties on? I hate to be a burden, but you know, I really appreciate it if you hit that sub button and the little bell next to it, you know? It doesn't take long. I know you can get mixed up in the algorithm and everything. But yeah, also tune into the streams, you know? We have a lot of fun over there, I'm telling you. We have a lot of parties going on over there. Yeah, that's it, bye. Damn. In reality, they don't really have it like that. Like the fact that Kim walks around with these giant missiles, bro. You can guarantee, bro, even if he did shoot them up, like something happened, they probably wouldn't even work. They probably just break.
10.
You know damn well, bro, the scientists over there aren't getting paid. They're basically forced to work for Kim, and he's like, all right, you better build these good or you're gonna die.
$1 billion a year on its military. Somewhere between 30 and 40% of the country's total production.
Damn.
But have you ever thought about how they get that money and how they get the money to import goods? It's a country with very few businesses to tax, and it's barred from most international trades through UN sanctions.
Right.
So where does this cash come from? Well, it's the task of the infamous Office 39 to manage North Korea's foreign currency earnings and fundraise them any way they see fit. That has led to some quite bizarre ways for a government to raise revenue, including training hackers to steal cryptocurrency, peddling drugs.
Yeah, I've heard in like North Korea, bro, the hackers be going crazy. Like the crypto hackers especially, dude, it's like every month, bro, there's like a big breach, some type of crypto area, and they're just stealing all the crypto. And it ends up being either like accounts they can't find out or they trace them to like North Korean IPs and nothing they can do pretty much.
Creating global restaurant chains and sending spies to the casino. Here are some of the ways North Korea continues to fund its regime after being kicked out of the global economy. Riddle me this. Why can you be sent to a labor camp for buying pine mushrooms from a local seller? That's right, to monopolize their foreign currency earnings. Trade has been North Korea's lifeline for years, despite the government's official policy.
Does North Korea even have any good, like, natural resources? Like, let's say the government wasn't such terrible people. Would they even have any good natural resources? Let me search it up. Yes, North Korea possesses significant natural resources, particularly in minerals with substantial reserves of magnetite. I don't know why I can't read that. Iron, zinc, gold, tungsten, graphite, and coal. Damn. It has the world's second largest Why can't I read? Bro, f this. I'm not going to lie. Alright, you get the point. They have a lot of natural resources. Maybe that's why South Korea wants to be friends with them so badly again, bro. I mean, to be fair, it's kind of crazy that there was a time where it was just Korea, right? Their nation would be so strong.
Being that of juche, or self-reliance. Some of this is through crops which are primarily found in this region, like with those pine mushrooms or ginseng. And others are materials China needs to keep their industry going, mostly coal, iron, and electricity. These have historically provided North Korea with much of the cash it needed to import all the stuff, well, it couldn't self-reliably make, and funded their weapons programs. But Kim Jong-un may have flown a little too close to the sun, starting North Korea's now legendary nuclear weapons program, regularly testing new generation missiles and flaunting them in their military parades. In total, they've made around 50 nuclear warheads with ranges capable of hitting the entire United States, destabilizing the region and giving this one family.
I wonder if Kim is really out there like, you know what? Let's go ahead and send a nuke to the US. Kim's gotta know, bro. North Korea is gonna get wiped off the map within like 0.1 of a second. I'm not gonna lie, even if North Korea just sent a missile to a US state, he could have sent a missile to the middle of Wyoming. It wouldn't have mattered, bro. All of North Korea cooked.
Insane power over its people. And so, they've been subjected to sanction after sanction after sanction. Those who trade with them, sanctioned. The banks they use to launder money, sanctioned.
Damn.
The worst have been from the UN Security Councils in 2017, when they voted to ban all exports of coal, iron, and seafood from North Korea, costing them over $1 billion.
Damn, they can't even have no shrimp or nothing. That's tough, man. They missing out on the butterfly shrimp deals at Popeyes. I'm not even sponsored. I don't know why I said that, but I had some butterfly shrimp like a couple days ago, bro, from Popeyes. Pretty fire.
$1 a year in lost export earnings. Here were their exports to China before the sanctions, which, by the way, makes up 95% of their total trade. Here they are after 2017. $2.5 billion to $300 million.
Bro, it's crazy because, like, Kim has to know, like, eventually, bro, shit's gonna end with him. Like, when Kim is old in, what, like, 20, 30 years, you know what I'm saying? North Korean, pretty sure their babies are low. There was literally, we were watching a video where he was, like, crying, saying, why is nobody having any babies? I wonder why. If you see developed countries and they don't even want to have kids with way better conditions, bro. Even if you're poor, bro, in like America, bro, you have way better conditions to have a baby. Middle income, and you know, you have way better conditions. If they're not having babies, bro, you think women in North Korea are gonna have babies? Let me see their birth rate right now, bro. Their birth rate is somehow higher than the US though. That is kind of fucking insane to me. So their highest birth rate, okay, it was in the 60s. And then, yeah, it's just been dropping and dropping and dropping. It kind of went up a little bit, I guess, for some reason over here. Thousands, and then it's been dropping. Population growth rate is 0.3%, bro. Like, they have 26 million people. I thought it was 30 million people. It's 26 million people. That's crazy, bro. We got 2 states over here that have more people. It's GG's, bro. I'm telling you, give it like 10 years, bro. Especially when a lot of those older people die and it ends up being like 20 million people that are cooked. It's just gonna keep dropping.
2 things came as a result from this. One is they've started exporting some weird stuff. In 2023, making up almost 60% of their exports were wigs, fake beards, and fake eyelashes. That's right. They sold $165 million worth of wigs to China, along with non-sanctioned minerals like tungsten and molybdenum. Meanwhile,
there's probably some Chinese cosplayer out there that had like a wig for like an anime character that didn't know.
Why they actually
that was made in North Korea.
The money, they imported over $2 billion of goods from them, including rice, fertilizer, and their #1 import that year, human hair, $160 million of it. What's the point of using all this labor and resources to essentially just be China's wig factory and profiting only $5 million from it? The second thing to come out.
Loki, Kim could use a trip to Turkey. Real shit. Is he banned there? Yo, take his ass to Turkey, bro. Because, man, there's no way you got all this money, bro. You still chop, bro. First off, Ozempic, too. He could have been got some type of illegal Ozempic. If I was a leader like him, bro, and I'm just like a dictator, I would at least try to look calm, man.
The sanctions
I look like a
is
bum.
the fact that these trades haven't stopped, they've only slowed. Satellite imagery has shown North Korean cargo vessels full of coal sail out from ports like Nampo and return full of oil. To avoid being caught, ships carrying cargo to North Korea will travel out to barren waters and transfer their hulls ship to ship as many as 3 different times to
Wow.
eventually end up on North Korean flagged vessels. The money then flows through their
Bro, it's probably such an annoying process to do. Oh my god, bro.
networks of subsidiaries and shell companies through shady Hong Kong and Macau businessmen's financial networks, and as a result,
Sun tit
North
fan?
Korea has ended up breaking its sanctions every year since they were imposed.
Special zones.
Despite being so closed off, North Korea has allowed select cities to be relatively more open as a way to attract foreign investment to the country.
Okay.
Since the collapse of the Soviet Union, they've opened 29 of these development zones. The biggest and best is the Rason Economic and Trade Zone on the northeast border with Russia. This little enclave has a few one-of-a-kind things found in North Korea, like Golden Triangle Bank, the only place you can get a debit card in the country.
Wow.
Its own
One debit card, bro. Imagine living all the way in the south of North Korea, and you gotta travel all the way north, which is probably like 5 or 6 hours to travel. And they definitely don't have cars or banks. Airports, man, they're cooked, bro.
mobile network, a casino, and the Rason
Wow.
International Trade Fair. That's right, North Korea's very own international market from international destinations like China and Russia. To be honest, this fair is more of a place for Chinese business.
Bro, it's crazy too, because like there's a lot of the people that are there that they just think the whole world is like, I mean, they know South Korea. I guess South Korea is the enemy, US is the enemy. Do they know any other places? Do they actually like even learn about like the world map? I feel like the world map in North Korea is just like North Korea takes up like 80% of the world. Then you have like the US take up like maybe like 8%. Yes, South Korea take up like 2% because, you know, they gotta look stronger than South Korea. You got Russia up there, I guess, and then China taking up like 5% each. I feel like it's just like that.
Leaders to network with Korean central planners. So from its opening in 1991 to the 2010s, it's estimated that Rason has attracted around $150 million to the region,
Okay.
or about $5 million a year. And just
These
look
values are very low, bro. Like, this is what, like, top companies make in a day here. Actually, way more.
at this website. There's attractions like the fair, the textile factory, the Russo-Korean Friendship Bridge, and the Tri-Border area. Who wouldn't want to visit? There are other zones open for international money too, ones that have been a little more successful.
Genuinely, bro, and, like, I'm very confused, too. Even if you're, like, a Chinese businessman or Russian businessman, bro, you know people there don't got f***ing bread. The people you're gonna see spending money are, like, the government officials and stuff, and then that's really it. Everybody else is broke.
And attracting
So what's even the point?
tourists.
Like, you're just
Tourists
risking your
besides
life for no
Russian
reason.
gamblers. Take the Mount Kumgang tourist region, for example. It opened in 2002 as a joint zone between North and South Korea to accommodate all the South Korean tourists who are coming up to see the mountains. Taken on as an investment by the Hyundai Group, nearly 2 million ended up visiting the area.
Okay.
Until the South Korean government banned tourists from going in 2008 after one of their citizens was shot and killed by the North Korean army. It was officially closed by the North in 2024 after dismantling its resort's facilities.
See, they don't play like that, bro. I respect it. And imagine they were like, it's fine, just keep going or whatever, and then North Korea would have been like, yeah, we got one of yours, bro. They would have rubbed it in.
There's also the Kaesong Industrial Complex, which on the border with the South was another joint investment between the two countries. The South Korean government developed much of the infrastructure the complex needed and even gave the firms who opened there perks like low interest loans and state subsidies to incentivize peace between the countries. At its peak, it produced around $560 million.
Bro, the thing is though, obviously South Korea reaches for peace like way more than North Korea. But like they've got to know by now, bro, North Korea is never gonna have peace. Like with their leadership right now, because the way they truly believe and the way they literally taught all their citizens is like South Korea is a terrible country, just full of devils and demonic people. That is literally what they've taught all their citizens, and that's what they run on. So like if they're like, all right, let's be friendly and shit, the people there are gonna be like, wait, what? Like, wait, you told us this, and then they're gonna start questioning things. They kind of themselves. Even if North Korea did want peace, it's not really possible. Like it's gonna be very hard. It's gonna have to be like a slow build up, like probably through decades.
Worth of goods a year, but it shut down in 2016 after a North Korean missile test. And although their foreign investment crashed after sanctions, losing what seemed to be a steady income of around $100 million a year, that hasn't stopped Kim from dreaming big. He's recently been spotted on a new beach resort, taking pictures.
Yo, it's kind of crazy he's like taking all these pics with his daughter, bro. Like she definitely about to be f***ed up, bro. Probably more f***ed up than him. I mean, hopefully not. I don't know. Maybe she'll change when he dies, but they're clearly setting it up for her to be like the next leader.
With his daughter, the presumed next supreme leader. Who knows? Maybe this one won't end up being a complete failure.
No. I fully believe his daughter's gonna be the same as him or probably worse. Like she's been brainwashed literally since she's been born.
With sanctions cutting into most of their export revenue, Office 39 has been known to get into some quite sketchy lines of business to raise the money the country needs for its roughly $2 billion trade deficits. In recent years, the most lucrative way to do this has been to find computer-oriented thinkers at army schools, send them off to training schools in the Asian tech world, and have them commit various cyber crimes. North Korea deploys their so-called IT warriors across its networks in Russia, China, and Laos, each of which can earn up to $300,000 a year.
Damn.
Back in 2014,
bro, $300K in North Korea, bro, that should probably buy you a 10-bedroom mansion.
The warriors hacked Sony and extorted their executives with the threat of leaking internal documents over the release of the interview.
Oh, excuse me.
Did you just shart?
It got a little more serious when they hacked the Bangladeshi Central Bank in 2016, draining around $950 million of reserves.
God damn.
To launder it through their web of Macau-based banks, it's reported that North Korean agents had to sit in casinos for weeks playing baccarat with the stolen money to clean it. That hard work was for nothing, though. Over
I was about to say, that's probably fun, though. You just go and, like, gamble the money to, like, wash it.
90% of the money was returned, which has led more modern agents to focus instead on cryptocurrency heists. Unlike digital bank reserves, which can often be swapped around and control Z'd if something goes wrong, if you move cryptocurrency, it is gone. In 2024, stealing crypto generated over $1.3 billion for the regime, with a UN report suggesting that about 40% of their nuclear weapons program is now funded by illicit cyber means.
But like 1.3 billion, is that enough to fund like multiple nukes and bombs? I don't know. Maybe currency goes farther over there, I guess.
Out of all stolen cryptocurrency in 2024, Chainalysis estimated that 60% of it was taken by North Korean agents. 60% of all cryptocurrency-based crime done by North Korea used to fund its nukes and missiles. What a world.
So basically they would be f***ed if they didn't have crypto. What happened if there was a world without crypto? What would they be doing?
The problem's not getting any better either. In the past few years, they've stolen $41 million from Stake.com, around $305 million from the DMM Bitcoin exchange, shutting it down, and their best work yet, $620 million from Axie Infinity Players, an online game which seems to be like a mix between Pokemon and NFT.
Okay, how bad is your security though, bro? 620 million? Bro, if you have that much, bro, you should be spending at least like, I don't know how much in security a year, bro, but like, I never understand that when like people will get like a bunch of this money and shit and then they don't spend a lot of the money just like securing it to make sure it isn't stolen, bro. You see this with even like big companies, like multi-billion-dollar companies that have billions in the bank and just get stolen by some hackers because like it was just basically open. Like they had no type of IT or security managing it. They just clicked on a link and then got it.
Crypto is still a very decentralized world. If you talk to the most ardent crypto supporters, I think that's the point. And it's still a very new asset, meaning it can be very hard to secure and regulate its trade. The US has tried with sanctions on aids and websites like Blender.io, which North Korea used to launder its illicit currency, but it's not enough to stop their increasing hacks. The unfortunate truth is most of the
Yo, imagine they hack like Coinbase or Crypto.com or something big. Bro, we'd be cooked.
stolen crypto is stolen by compromised private keys, a code needed to access your digital wallet. If they somehow get access to this code, they have access to your money. Sometimes the agents are hired with fake identities at tech firms across the world. Sometimes they conspire with Americans to install remote work software on company laptops. Their favorite way to do this seems to be disguising themselves as job recruiters and targeting employees who have access to their company's private keys. You'll get a nice job offer on LinkedIn, copy the link they send.
I've heard about that. There's a lot of like, I don't know why they do that. There's a lot of just fake jobs up on like LinkedIn and things like that. I don't really understand that. I don't know. I guess this is one of the ways they're doing it, but just in general, they call them like ghost jobs or something. I have no clue why a company would want to do that. Like, what the fuck do you benefit from by putting up a fake job that people are going to apply to and then you're just going to take off?
Send you to your GitHub page and boom, you're compromised. $300 million gone. So if any of you watching are senior software engineers with access to a decently sized company's cryptocurrency wallet, maybe take your job offers in person.
I can see you getting tricked by that very easily too, like a fake job offer, bro. A lot of people get tricked off of like fake links just in their email, just like a fake crypto link or oh, you had some random money in a crypto account, bro. Go ahead and click this link and put in this, and then that's when they just swipe your whole computer.
Crypto is their new money maker, but they've been sanctioned in the past and have historically run some other lucrative crime rings. One of the more famous is their
Drugs.
US dollar counterfeits. Back in the 80s, North Korea designed and distributed a near perfect replica of American $100 bills, smuggling them over the border into China. Seniors at the Banco Delta Asia in Macau were complicit in laundering these fake super notes, with North Korea collecting about $15 to $25 million a year from this scheme. That was enough
That
to
is nothing. 25 mil a year, bro, for a whole country?
help them buy luxuries.
Yo, you can guarantee somebody over there is still driving this shit.
1980s downturn, but not enough to mess with America's monetary system like they may have hoped. In 1996, the Treasury shut down the operation once and for all by redesigning the $100 bill to prevent future super notes. So hey, it did get the US government stressing at least a little bit. One State Department official said that if North Korea put the same quality into conventional export goods as they did in replicating the $100 bill, there's no doubt that they could have been an industrial powerhouse by now.
Yeah.
What about a narco state? Since the 1970s, many diplomats have been arrested for smuggling and distributing drugs on the streets through North Korean embassies. Diplomatic mail is a
Bro, and I guarantee North Korea, like selling drugs is probably the death penalty over there or something. Bro, if you don't leave a picture of Kim Jong-un in your house, that's the death penalty. And then they were like, oh, well, you know, trying to make money for the country.
immune to search and seizure, so they've been suspected to carry drugs like opium and meth, as well as other shady things like guns
Cardi
and
reference.
gold. To push these, there's been a statewide program to manufacture these drugs and export them for cash. Many embassies even had quotas of how many drugs they needed to sell. At its height, this empire possibly made up to $700 million a year.
Okay, that's a lot. Damn.
But since the 2000s, many of the state-sponsored laboratories have been defunded, leaving the country with many small labs and a surplus of people who knew how to make meth. Without the state assistance, these people have instead manufactured and sold them to the domestic market, with opiates and amphetamines now seen by many as alternative medicines in the country, since many lack access to proper medicine and healthcare. They're apparently just seen like a supercharged energy drink. They've even become popular Lunar New Year's gifts as a result. And despite crackdowns on borders and production, the country is left with a drug problem that neither the poor nor rich have any incentive in fixing. The country's also
Nah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Getting your country hooked to, like, drugs is insane, bro.
been known to push weapons around. North Korean missiles, guns, and drones have popped up in some very non-Korean areas. But most recently has been their dealing with Russia. After a meeting between Kim and Putin, trade relations have increased between the two.
Yo, why are these two low-key like a pea in a pod? They got, like, a loving, amazing relationship. They're like, hey, from dictator to dictator, you doing good. I don't think we'll see this in the future, bro. Like, people are gonna look back at this, like, especially our future generation kids, and be like, bro, what the fuck? Y'all was alive, like, when there was, like, still dictators just having friendships and things like that, and we're gonna be like, yeah. But, I mean, to be fair, in the past, you know, yeah, people like Stalin and Mao and all these people, so maybe it's possible. Even then, now, I'm like, damn, these people really existed, and it's like, they did so much f***ing shit. Probably still have, like, a dictator or two left, but I hope it'll be, pretty shunned by then and done for.
Trade relations have increased between the two countries, with reports of Rason's exporting zone filled with goods both to and from Russia, bypassing sanctions, of course. Bloomberg has estimated that this could include up to $1 billion worth of ammunition to aid Russia in their aggressive war against Ukraine. North Korean-made missiles have been fired at Ukraine, and around 12,000 North Korean soldiers have...
Nah, Kim was just waiting to get involved, bro. I feel like Kim be looking at all these wars going on, and he's like, ah, man, can I get involved, guys? Please, just one nuke. I just want to set one nuke. Please, like, he is so giddy and angsty and shit whenever he sees stuff going on. I know his ass was probably jealous, bro, when he saw Trump, like, fucking send some missiles to Iran. He was like, damn it, wish that was me.
been sent to the front lines, so it seems the war is a money-making opportunity for the Kim regime. Their average daily crypto heists have even halved in value after the Kim-Putin meeting, so it does seem like it's working. Perhaps Russia, not China, will be their new sugar daddy.
Yeah.
The last resource the country...
I mean, it's kind of funny because Russia and North Korea have to work with each other. They're both sanctioned like shit. Nobody wants to work with them. Nobody likes them as leaders. Their country doesn't like them, or the ones that do are just brainwashed too.
As is its people. Although there have been hundreds of thousands of North Koreans sent over the world to work as construction workers or miners or fake IT workers, it's been limited after UN sanctions prohibited North Korean labor from being...
Bro, if I'm in North Korea, bro, I go to another country to work and I see like the freedoms and people doing this shit, I'm like, yo, what the f, bro? I'm out of here. I'm out of here, bro. That's probably why they barely would send people out. Because if they saw the real world, they'd be like, wait, everybody else in the world isn't a demon?
exported. Now, workers are limited to their close friend network of China, Russia, and Laos. As an example, they sent 150 workers to construct bridges and communications networks in the Russian-occupied Donbass region, where each laborer must pay the government 1 million North Korean won a month, about $1,000. Or they could send it back to their families via diplomats, who usually charge a 25 to 30% commission fee.
Wow.
Ouch. One of the weirder schemes was through state-sponsored restaurants, the Pyongyang restaurant, which popped up over the major cities of Asia. It's thought that these restaurants are little more than money laundering fronts, and many have been shut down both from sanctions and an issue of staff attempting to flee
What
the
does North Korean food even taste like?
country.
I'd assume similar to South Korea. Except definitely worse.
From 130 locations, less than 20 remain open, mostly for their IT workers to send cash through. And apparently, so I've heard, the food is not that great.
Yeah.
There's one final way the country raises money, but this revenue is not for the regime, it's for the people, through defectors. Around 33,000 refugees have left North Korea, and most of those people are singular defectors who still have their families back home. Through a network of Chinese, South Korean, and North Korean brokers, it is possible to send money home, as around 60% of defectors have reported to do. Smuggled Chinese phones can contact their telecommunications networks, so with the right people involved, a defector can be connected with their family to agree on a sum and have it be transferred through Chinese and South Korean bank accounts. The family then sends a receipt through a photo or video of them with the cash, and the broker takes a hefty cut, up to 50% of the remittance. Of
Yeah, because the risk is your life. That's kind of understandable. I don't know. If I'm there, I'm like, all right, 50%, bro, because I may die doing this, man.
course, this all has to be done secretly and carefully, often in remote locations and with highly trusted broker networks. Because if caught, the broker and sender's families could be sent to jail or prison camps over espionage charges.
Probably get executed.
It's one of the greatest tragedies of the regime. While Office 39 agents are tasked with raising billions of dollars of revenue
Yo, it's so funny that it's called the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
through mainly illegal means to fund the state's weapons programs, ordinary people have to risk their safety just to receive money from their family. The rough amount of money it takes to feed a family of 3 for a year.
Okay, y'all remember what I was talking about in the beginning of the video when I talked about the countryside? Dude, this is literally like the type of houses I was seeing, bro. Insane, bro. It's just like a concrete slab. And like, this probably took like, what, like 3 days to make. They just put some concrete on top of it and let it sit. And they're like, all right, this is a house. This is not a house, man.
The money the state can send you to prison camp for subverting its foreign exchange monopoly? Only $400.
Wow. Damn, that was a good video. Let me know what y'all think about that, man. Just saying, Kim, if you do try to do something to me, everybody watching this right now is going to have my back and will be dying for me too, you know what I'm saying? So if I do get executed, you know, you execute the whole family line. Yeah, go ahead and do it to everybody watching this video, you feel me? Everybody's going to fight for me, right? Right, guys? Right? If you're watching on a 2, make sure to join the Discord and watch streams.
Subscribe to Tommy and FG.